Okay. Those who are putting phones, make sure it's in flight mode so it doesn't ring.
It rings, I throw it away. And thereafter myself. And after that I have some clarifications which will be made by right today. I'm sure I've been away for some time. I've been embroiled in a lot of things. But now I'm back. Thank you for coming tonight. Tech, Moses from Choka County. And I have my secretaries around me. I have many secretaries. And our deputy secretary again. I'm not going to details because that would beat the time. So I invite the chairman of the electoral commission, the chieftaincy of public relations and the media, the vice chairperson of the party, the party electoral commission is happy to inform you that so far the presidential candidates who were both candidates that places. Through their mobilization drives, the party has got candidates for Moroto Woman Member of Parliament and Moroto Municipality Member of Parliament. They started traversing the country seeking for the support of delegates from northern Uganda, visiting Pakwach, Obongi, Amur, Kitigum, Badea, and Yagago districts. They then proceeded to Busoga, Karamoja, Rwenzori, and Yankole. Their next destinations shall be communicated in the due course. The Party Electoral Commission reminds you that the party shall hold its National Delegates Conference on the 31st of July 2025 to elect the party presidential flag bearer to run in the 2026 general elections. Nominations of MPs, LC5 chairpersons, city mayor, division, sub-county chairpersons, and councillors. The party will nominate candidates at various levels as follows. The process has been decentralized, and the process of picking nomination forms and the return of the same nomination forms has been well handled by our district supervisors. The designated electoral commission officials at the districts, that is, the district electoral supervisor and the deputy district electoral supervisor, have so far been doing commendable work in managing the process of nominating all party candidates at the district elders and PWDs to the village councils from 2nd June 2025 to 10th June 2025. The FDC, however, notes with concern that the Electoral Commission acted in a partisan way by nominating FDC candidates, then released their names as NRM candidates. One Ogwang Joel, who nominated on the FDC card as Youth Secretary for Finance, only to find himself as NRM candidate for Sports and Culture. This matter has been forwarded to the office of the National Electoral Commission, Honorable Justice Vyavakama, and he promised to handle it successfully. The Electoral Commission has not fulfilled its mandate of providing FDC as a political party with a copy of the Special Interest Group Register. This confirms that the Electoral Commission is registering ghost candidates as FDC. We continue to demand that the National Electoral Commission, led by Lord Justice Simon Vyavakama Mujenyi Arali, to fulfill its constitutional mandate of providing FDC with a copy of the special interest groups registers before polling. At this point, we continue to call for vigilance from the special interest groups as elections shall take place on the following days. Polling for village older persons committees, 16th June 2025. Polling for village persons with disabilities committees, 17th June 2025. Polling for village youth committees, 19th June 2025. We wish you, all our candidates, the best of luck. As FDC, we strive to promote democratic principles and stand as a pillar of democracy in Uganda. Once again, the gallant FDC men and women, I wish you well, I wish you success in this election for God and my country. Thank you, sir. Relatedly, the press, of late you, the press, I don't know how you report. I think most of you spent more than 3 years studying mass media, and but of late, someone who gets a small, of late, we have seen some stories pervading the air that some of our MPs have left the party, and some of your media houses even go further to say, if this is finished, all the MPs have gone. When I was studying some, I think, elementary mathematics, there's the most basic branch of mathematics, I think, which everybody should know. That's arithmetic. Even a kid of 4 years knows how to count from 1 up to 10 or 30. A 4-year kid. But I've heard some TVs and media houses say FDC has lost 8 MPs to, is it PFF? That party, that new party. PPF. PFF, that new party. And then they have lost some MPs to NRM. And they say FDC is finished. If you did some basic arithmetic, you should calculate before you put it on your screens. If they have lost 8, how many are left? Those who are left, are they the majority or the minority? Then you can put up your story. But you say everybody is finished.
When I was studying small mathematics, I think maybe P6, they used to tell us greater than or less than. You remember those things? Hmm? So I managed to write something here. If we lose 9, we remain with 23. Hmm? I did deliberately. Which sign do you put here? You put it that this one is greater than this, or this one is greater than this. Or equals. Eh? Secondly, and most importantly, if you ask a kid that which of these numbers is greater than the other, a 3-year-old kid may tell you that this one is bigger because it's bigger in size. But this one, 23, of course, all of you know it is higher and bigger. So our press of late has been reporting as if this one is bigger than this, which I think is just the basic branch of mathematics. That's arithmetic. I invite you, members of the press, from today. Then you subtract, then you can report the party is what? Is finished. And from time immemorial, remember some time back, FDC lost about 25 MPs, and we remained with 9. None of the 25 kept the numbers again, which we are going to do even this time. So don't worry, FDC is very strong. And you have even seen it when other parties have been doing their delegates conference to elect leaders. You bear with me, all of you here, sincerely. Which party in Uganda practices democracy in the open? When you go, all the boxes were there, you saw them, nobody fought each other, those who were defeated even accepted. Nobody complained. Even when General Mutu was going, did he tell you that he was cheated? He was in broad daylight. But we don't want to give us those good points because of some of you are hell-bent to see that FDC is finished. It cannot get finished. We are very strong people. That's why deliberately, when our leaders had gone out to campaign this time, we didn't do it as we have been doing it. This time we have that let them go out, do their work in as cool way as possible, so that by the time we get up like this, we have finished the whole country. Who have we expect that FDC will be very strong in Karamoja? You saw our meetings in Karamoja. Very big meetings. But we don't want to go and do a lot of saber-rattling everywhere. FDC is this. Because our party, we are not selling it as a new party. It's already a party which is existing. What happened some few days ago, and which is touching to our MPs, a friend of mine who is standing near me here, Honorable Court Bitek Moses, was reported on one TV or two that he had left FDC and joined some other party, which I don't want to mention here. But he's here with us. You can hear from him direct. Honorable Sir, at least assure the country and the world that FDC 311.
Good morning, members of the press. My name is Honorable Court Moses Jr. Bitek. I am the Honorable Member of Parliament for Kyoga County. I am the party legal secretary. In Kyoga County, Oramolata district, I was elected as a joint opposition candidate, but I chose to take the FDC flag that I had held from Makere as a chair of the Makere chapter, as a guild president in LDC, as a member of parliament, now on the Forum for Democratic Change. And I want to now state that there was a lot of ferocious propaganda that was being paraded by unscrupulous individuals. I'm yet to understand the motive of the propaganda. I did hold a press briefing prior to this date informing you that I am an integral member an integral part of the opposition bloc in this country. And I am a true advocate of change for this country. I am an immediate millennial who graduated from a Gen Z. And I have nothing that is enticing to do with the NRM. I have not been there. I will not be there. In fact, I am challenging in years to come for the leadership of this party that I am here in. So members of the press, do not be lured. Do not be lured, cajoled, persuaded to carry any information that would, by design or by default, associate me with the national resistance movement or anything that is not opposition. For if you are either motivated or persuaded by any gift or anything, I am informing you there will be an avalanche of hellfire of legal actions collectively against your back. That is what I do for a living as an advocate. But I would not want to do that to the media houses who did report. You could have been misinformed. So there is a window of clemency that I have issued out to anybody who did report the same. And today is the end of the story. Should I probably hear it from anybody reporting the same, I am potent enough to take legal actions as an advocate of the High Court that I am. But I have good areas to challenge my energy to, and that is the liberation of this country and challenging for good governance, rule of law, and democracy that I am focused on. So do not divert me by parading this. But in any case, take me as you see me. I don't miss my words. I am very wild in my actions when it comes to dealing with adversaries. And I would not want to think that anybody would want to be an adversary to me. Thank you very much.
One Uganda, one people.
I've also read somewhere that this one was attributed to the speaker. There are some members who left FDC and went to that new party, which some of you TV want to over-promote. That Honorable Matshabe of Mukonjo West left FDC at Kapsabe and went to some other party. But this morning, as I talk now, he has successfully nominated at our FDC Kasese district branch. Just now, all of you can call after here and verify for yourselves. He has been there physically, and he said he did not tell anybody that he had left FDC. So however much you may have some evil thinking against FDC, please, at least report factually. At least. We may be not very strong, but don't try to at least lie to hoodwink those people who are not reading all these things here. Because you look ashamed to people who are educated. Many others, I mentioned them, as I told you, if you lose only 8 people and you remain with more than 23, you can't be weaker than someone who has taken 8. It's common sense. It's basic arithmetic, because if you count from 1 up to 32, you find out that someone who has 9 has a fewer number of MPs. And all in all these people joined FDC when they are all adults. And they are free to join any party they want. None of these people who came here, who are in FDC, was born when FDC was existing. None. All of them are older than FDC. So there's no chance under the sun that anybody joined FDC from nowhere. They must have come from somewhere. So they're even free to join another party. But let's report factually. The other issue which I wanted to handle briefly was, in fact, as I emphasized, that's why our campaign, presidential campaigns, this time we did them in a more, you know, some of us have background of being a Bayekera. When you know how your enemy is going to behave, you behave slightly differently, so that you achieve your goal. That's how we have been advised. So for us, we don't want to have any problems with anybody. We do our work. By the time we get up, it will be too late for anybody to stop us. FDC is a party which practices democracy to the fullest. And no party in Uganda in the next many years will reach our level. The other issue I wanted to handle was that one of the budget. I'll be very brief on this one. On Thursday, the 12th, June 2025, the Minister of Finance, Honorable Kasaija, presented the budget of financial year 2025-2026 of 72.367 trillion. FDC is concerned that this budget is far below the expectations of average Ugandans and therefore does not address the pressing issues the Ugandans are grappling with. It's more or less an elitist, debt-driven, and detached from the realities faced by average Ugandans. We think that the current fiscal plan benefits the political elite while plunging the broader population into deeper economic hardship. According to the financial year 2025 budget, the government plans to borrow 32 trillion this year alone, near half of the entire budget, to fund largely non-developmental and recurring expenditures. The case in point is that of 38% of the proposed budget, which is 27.3 trillion, is dedicated to debt servicing. This includes 9.4 trillion in interest payments, mostly owed to local commercial banks, and 5 trillion for repaying external debt principal. Our local debt burden stands at 13 trillion, and they have only paid 9.4. These are the people who gave government services, but you're only paying 9.4 out of 13. We should recall that Uganda is in a precarious fiscal position, borrowing 34 trillion only to pay back 27 trillion, a cycle which we think takes the country backward. The country public debt now stands at 106.2 trillion, approximately 52.4 of the GDP. We in FDC are concerned about the rising interest rates, declining foreign reserves, and weakening currency, all of which could tip the country into debt crisis. According to the budget estimates, Uganda Revenue Authority is expected to collect about 32 trillion, which look like a substantial jump from last year's 29.3, which is failed to meet, as URA raised only 25.7 trillion last year. We wonder the feasibility of achieving the new target. We contend that for the third year budget allocation patterns favor a privileged few, of which 12.7 trillion, 16% of the entire budget, is earmarked for public servants, which make up less than 1% of the population. 500 billion allocated President's residence, 306 billion President's office. In stark contrast, the PDM, which according to NRM government is aimed at transforming the lives of 4.4
14.8 million people involved in subsistence farming has been allocated 1 trillion or 1.3% of the budget. Finally, the budget falls short of addressing the pressing issues, and we left this call for a comprehensive restructuring of national priorities. We propose redirecting resources towards job creation, youth employment, agriculture, irrigation, and improved health and education infrastructure. We also call for increased transparency and rigorous value for money audits before additional funds are committed to initiatives like PDM, Imyoga, and others. Lastly, as we head from the campaign year, we feel the NRM regime under the 40-year administration is incapable of addressing pressing needs. Therefore, this manifesto, which is in the final stages of production, has a comprehensive solution to this cancer that has eaten up our country. In our manifesto, which we have brought out very soon after getting our presidential candidate, all these things will be addressed in that book. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, we answer them.
This could be the third or the second time you're extending the deadline for nomination. Could it be that you have more numbers coming in for nominations, or you're extending because you're getting a few people like me here? What is pressing you to keep extending the
Already
deadline?
answered yours.
No, it is
Because we are getting so many people. Actually, it's just a few districts where there was mammoth crowds. And some county chairpersons where they actually requested that if we can extend so that they can pay for that. And we haven't really presented that question. But as FDC, it's only for only the LC councillors, the sub-county chairpersons, and even in a few districts which have requested for that. Otherwise, in the whole country, that part has been covered.
what are some of these issues?
Well, really, we can't expose everything. But I am telling you, the whole exercise is going to end on the 17th of June. Okay, any other question?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My question goes to you. David Little is my name, I work with NTV. You've been a bit tough on the issue of numbers. And of course, to put a disclaimer, it's not part of us that did it. But while you compared 8 against 23, in politics, losing 8 people is quite a big number, especially at this particular season where we are heading into an election and most political parties are coming up and strategizing themselves. Doesn't it worry you at party level that you've lost this kind of number and perhaps somewhere ahead we do not know what will happen? What is your strategy of maintaining the numbers that you already have as you root out for more numbers?
Thank you, Joe. Well survived those people. My brother, I was not tough with numbers. I studied science. I'm not a politician, I was fighting here. Forcefully, because of the 17. But the good thing with numbers, they don't lie. Secondly, in politics, people join the party for their particular individual reasons. A good number of people join the party when they see now, if I join this party in this area, I will go to the party. There are many people who are saying FDC will not support our people under those circumstances. But the area they come from, people support FDC.
The same applies to when and whatever. So some people switch because they see some opportunity of getting elected. But what we have done in FDC, we build a part on the ground, whereby if someone goes, the second line is pushed up. Practically we did it. As I told you, I'm a scientist. 25 left, they went with the anti. We replaced the 25, and near all of them came back as FDC. Even in Kasese, where we lost one of the beautiful ladies there, on the Chiza. Everybody would have cried, hey, now Chiza has gone. But you replaced it with Kamuko, is it not? Kamuko. So, as FDC, that's what you do. You can't force anybody to stay. But you have to act to the reality on the ground, and then work accordingly and replace. That's what we're doing as FDC. And we're doing it very, very systematically. Some of these things we do, not in air, because if you start explaining like I'm explaining now, we may be bogged down those explanations forever. That's why we go practically down on the ground and let the people who talk, as practically we are moving forward and replacing them. And there's some people who have joined us, but we have not come here to I can give you a good example. A board, honorable board, joined FDC, but we have not come to separate or whatever. We do it deliberately. Why? But we want to come out, and then we come out. Everybody has been doubting us. Yes, you know that this is the party. That's what we're talking about. Second, and most important, we believe in consolidation. If you still have 23, for example, you must make sure those 23 come back. Before we look for anybody else, that's what we do. And we're doing it accurately in FDC. And we're going to see it. Yes, sir.
Richard Olwen, NDS. Uganda's youngest political party, PFF, is glad to use your structures in the grassroots to mobilize supporters and to engage in the electoral activities. The other time I was with them, I physically saw the engagement from different parts of this country. What's your take on that? And then I just had... Oh, sure.
In Uganda, the number of people, the population of Uganda is constant. So, if someone is going to get support, he has to go everywhere to look for support. And do not complain. And you cannot say someone is using our structures to look for people. If someone is yours, now you came to me and told me you will not come and work in NPS. I will not come to work in NPS because maybe I'm not qualified and whatever. So, those who are going to our structures, try to incite them to join them. What you have to do for us, you have to continue mobilizing our structures to stay strong. And the PFF, you see, I think they are, I told you here, Mr. when you were studying here, I told you this is what to destroy FDC, and then you guys start another part. I told you when you were here. Now it has come to pass. They came to destroy FDC. They sought to destroy FDC before they start PFF, but the facts of the ground are different. I told you here they are going to fail. Those are wishful thinkers and whatever. But now that it's a party, it's very beautiful for us. I'm one of the people who have been supporting these people to get a party. So that people can judge them on their own actions. People, Ugandans are going to watch these people do whatever they want. I think they are still continuing this already. That idea of trying to destroy FDC from the ground, starting with our structures and whatever. But I can assure you, no succeed. Because FDC is a very strong party. And some of these parties are not a joke. Some of you saw what was in Barana. Most of you people in the press have been reporting, they will finish because of whatever. But when you saw what is in Barana, it shows that some people still have their deeply on their hearts. The same applies to FDC. Nobody can destroy FDC. Those people who are on the other side, all of them know them, how they move. They only move where there is opportunity. Where there is no opportunity and there is something to be done, they are not there. You watch them, some of them will not even go to PFF. A good number of them, they have been attributing them to be going to PFF. You hear them say, I have not said I'm going to PFF. They will tell you that. So, we let them be sad. And I want them to be happy.
Have you taken stock on who is still there and who has gone? Because most of the people that you call yours are dealing with them.
Dealing and talking to them are two different things.
Working with them in their political activity.
No problem. If somebody says to work, if I can lose an MP, and I agree that I've lost an MP, what about any other supporter who was to join another party? They are free. This is what we are fighting for. As FDC. We said this party here to fight for democracy. But those who will go. Those who will stay, and we continue with them. That's why I told you we are not consolidating first. Then we move forward.
Just before, there are some members whom you say are coming back. Do you have numbers? How many had gone away and have come back to pick nomination forms?
They are it gone, but some of people in the press have been, I think, putting a tab on them that they have gone. A good example is here at 10. And now Katushabe, all of you have been reported that Katushabe is going to the PFF. Is it not? But now he has just nominated. Today, I'm talking about today, this morning, he nominated our district, district branch in Kasese, for FDC ticket. So we are going to see more of them, sir, as we progress this week before I close. No, if there are some questions, I want to ask everything to them already. Yes, I want everything clear today. If you have any questions, give it to me and go to Ghana. Are we done? Sir, come on, briefly.
Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kategeeza eggwanga nti abaagala okukwata ebendera y'ekibiina kya FDC mu kalulu k'okulonda aka 2026 era kati bali mu kutambula Uganda yonna mu kanyomero k'eggwanga lino nga bafeffetta akalulu era wenjogerera kati abakulu injiniya wekitiibwa injiniya Mulia Toboy Patrick wamu ne munne wekitiibwa Nathan Nandala Mafwali James batambula wamu era bagenda basisinkana abakulembeze b'ekibiina era ne mu bitundu by'oyinza okulowooza nti ebizibu okutuuka kati batuuseeyo wenjogerera netusobola okufuna abaneesimbako ebitundu by'Ekalamojja naddala twafunyeyo omukyala aneesimba ku bwamembe bwa paalamenti ng'akiikirira abantu b'e Moroto ne tufunayo n'omulala anaakiikirira olubuga olunene olw'e Moroto mu lukiiko olukulu olwa paalamenti ey'e12 n'olwekyo okutambula Uganda mu buli kanyomero kyongeramu amaanyi mu kibiina kyaffe ekya-FDC naye era batandikira mu mambuka kikakono bw'eggwanga batandikira Pakwach baabo batambudde bali Obongi Yogayoga Amuru Kitigum Pader Agago bali mu Busoga Kalamojja Rwenzori Ankole batambula Uganda yonna kakati bajja kweyongerayo mu bitundu ebirala nga bwe tunaabategeeza kati olukiiko lutalamiruka olunaalonda anaakwatira ekibiina ebendera lujja kutuula ng'ennaku z'omwezi 31 omwezi ogw'omusanvu lulonde presidential party flag beyala bo bali ekisanja kyabwe kikyaliwo kubanga oli akyali party president Amuriat ne Nandala akyali secretary general kuva 2023 okutuukira ddala 2028 kati kino kyetulimu kyakunoonya anaakwata ebendera kulembera Uganda nga president w'eggwanga ow'ekkumi kati katudde mu kusunsula bamemba ba paalamenti basentebe ba districts abakulu b'ebibuga ab'amagongolola ne bakansalas kati okuwandiisa abakulu bano bonna twakusindika eri mu byalo mu madistrikiti eyo nga tumanyi nti omuntu okusiya gukegendo ati ndigava eri ajje wano ku kitebe ekikulu tujja kuba tumukaluubiriza. N'olwekyo omulimu guno ne tuguteeka mu madistricts era abakulembera akalulu ka FDC mu madistrict betuyita badistrict supervisors banyampala eyo bakolera ddala omulimu guno era bagukutte bukwakku. N'olwekyo tubeebaza olw'omulimu gwaffe okugukola obulungi. Kaakati wabaddewo okuwandiisa bakansalazi ne basentebe b'amagombolola okwatandika 12 ku Lwokuna kuko 13 ogw'omukaaga, naye era abantu waliwo districts ezimu ababadde batannamalayo omulimu guno ne tugamba tweyongereyo bawandiise abantu abo okutuusa ennaku z'omwezi 17 omwezi ogw'omukaaga, bakansalas ne basubcounty chairpersons. Kati okusunsulamu abaagala obwamemba bwa parliament, basentebe b'amadistricti, abakulu b'ebibuga ebinene, bameeya, kutandika leero ennaku z'omwezi 16 omwezi ogw'omukaaga kujja kukolebwa ne ku Lwokubiri ennaku z'omwezi 17 omwezi ogw'omukaaga. Waliwo okuddamu okutegeeragana nga banze ndekere ono oba ono yansingako, okutegeeragana mu bwaseruganda bwaffe nga omutima omulungi mu kibiina. Ekyo kijja kutandika nga ku Lwokusatu ng'ennaku z'omwezi 18 omwezi ogw'omukaaga gendere ddala omulimu guno gendere ddala paka Olwokubiri omwezi ogw'omusanvu lubereberye. N'olwekyo abantu abamu ayinza okugamba weewaawo ono mukulu ayinza okuba nga nsingako, mulekedde kyembadde ngamba. Naye singa ekyera kiba tekisobose, guidelines zaffe ne ssemateeka w'ekibiina akkiriza okugenda mu bunnya, tugende mu kamyufu. Akamyufu tujja kukatandika ennaku z'omwezi 2 omwezi ogw'omusanvu kutuukira ddala ennaku z'omwezi 12 omwezi ogw'omusanvu. Awo nga beesimbyeko mu kibiina kyaffe aba basunsuddwamu abatuukiriza ebisaanyizo. N'olwekyo mwe ba district electoral supervisors tubafalaasira mugoberere guidelines zaffe, mugoberere ssemateeka ey'eggwanga n'ey'ekibiina n'ebiragiro byonna ebikwata ku by'obululu. N'olwekyo bwe munaagoberera guidelines, ssemateeka n'ebiragiro ebirala byonna bye tubawadde, ate temukwata ssente. Oli alina okusasula mu banka, Centenary banka, akawunti 310001518 asasudde mu banka ya Centenary mu manya ga Forum for Democratic Change, n'aleeta akarisiiti ako wasasulidde. Abaagala kwesimba ku bamemba bwa parliament giri 10,000. Ba district oba ba city chairpersons giri 5,000. Bano ba sub county chairpersons, ba municipal ne division mayors giri 2,000. Kaakati ate bano ba councillors okuva ku district n'okugenda wansi, bano bo tebasasula ssente. Kati okulonda kwa bano abantu abembaganiza aba special interest groups, naddala abavubuka, abakadde, abalina obulema ku mibiri gyabwe, kali akakiiko ak'eggwanga omulimu guno kaagutandika ennaku z'omwezi 2 omwezi ogw'omukaaga ne katuusa 10 omwezi ogw'omukaaga. Naye kati ffe FDC ng'ekibiina tubajjukiza mmwe aba National Electoral Commission nti mwaliko kyekubirira. Waliwo FDC candidate ate kati ne mumuteeka mu kifo ky'owa NRM. Omusajja ono gwe bayita Ogwanga Joel, musajja wa FDC, era twali tumusunsuddemu ku kaadi eyo nga akulira abavubuka mu by'essente. Kakati ate mwate bwe mwali mumuwandiisa eyo mwamuwandiika ng'owa NRM ow'ebyemizannyo n'ebyobuwangwa. Ensonga eno ffe ng'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda twagitwala wa ssentebe omulamuzi Byabakama Simon Mugenyi era n'atukakasa nti agikolako kubanga ensobi yali returning officer waabwe ow'Essoroti. Kakati Electoral Commission bannaffe mutuwe register yabano abavubuka abakadde abalina obukosefu ku mibiri gyabwe kitusobozese okubeera nga twesiga ebigenda mu maaso nga tewalimu mizimu mu lukalala olwo. N'olwekyo kino kiba kitweraliikiriza omulamuzi Byabakama Simon Mugenyi tuwe olukalala lwabo abanagenda okulonda. Kati abamemba baffe ab'ekibiina era mweyongere kubeera bagumu bukolokolo mwetabe mu kalulu kano. Bajja kulonda vira ddala ku kyalo abakadde wenjogerera kati bali mu kulonda nakuza omwezi 16 omwezi ogw'omukaaga kuvira ddala ku kyalo abaliko obukosefu ku mibiri 17 ogw'omukaaga n'abavubuka kulonda nakuza omwezi 19 omwezi ogw'omukaaga. N'olwekyo bannakibiina bannayuganda bannange tugoberere enteekateeka eno tulabe nti akalulu konna ketugendamu tukagendamu mu bwesimbu, si kukatabangula, si kukalwaniramu, si kugira ki twagala obwenkanya muffe mu bw'eggwanga, eggwanga Uganda litambule ligende mu maaso. Neyanza mukama wange mpozi kyenyongerako amawulire gabadde gabungesebwa ku bamemba ba Parliament abamu nti baatuviidde bagenda mu kibiina ebirala ekisa kyandibadde ekibi baba bakikoze naye ate mwataddemu n'abantu abataagenze ng'ate mbateekamu ababagenze. Era wano ekyokulabirako tubadde n'owekitiibwa Moses Okot Bitek MP ava Elango Kyoga County. Era ayogedde nabo bwadde ayogedde mu byo by'oluzungu n'ayogera nti tanaba kuvaako mu FDC era mwali abadde babibungeesa bongera okubungeeseza ddala. Waliwo neera MP omulala badde bamwanjudde mu lisiti sipiika gye yasomye ng'akisomera President amulaga nga FDC bwekendedde amaanyi bamuyita Atkins Katusabe tinaye yavudde mu FDC n'agenda. Atkins Katusabe ava lwaleero ku makya g'olwaleero okwewandiisa ku disitulikiti y'e Kasese mu ofiisi y'FDC tanaba kutambula. Era kyengezaako kutegeeza bannaffe abasaka amawulire mwe temukola nga ffe abalina obusimu buseereza awulirayo akatono okateekayo mwe mukoleeko research kubanga mwe ab'amawulire mwasoma temulyanga ffe tetwabisoma ate si mutuwe amawulire mugabire abantu amawulire nga matuufu. Era kyenyongeddeko ne ŋŋamba nti bannamawulire abamu badde bakiyisizza FDC eweddewo efiiriddwa ababaka 8 bagenze mu PFF n'ababiri bagenze mu gundi mu NRM kati yeweddewo neera n'okuceekinga mu Parliament FDC badde erina abaka basukka mu 3 naye bagendako 9 abasinga bonna baba bakyali mu kibiina. Naye kyabamu ku bannamawulire ndowooza beerabira what is the basic branch of mathematics arithmetic okubala okuva ku 1 okutuuka 3 kyabalimu okubala bakoma ndowooza ku 8 nga balowooza ye maximum gy'osooka okukomako n'akaana ak'emyaka 4 kasobola okubala okutuuka ku 12 kakati balowooza nti eweddeyo. Naye kikulaga nti tubasaba mu lipooti y'amawulire amatuufu omuntu aba agenza abeera mukulu abeera eddembe okugenda naye tosavuwaza nnyo olage nti ekibiina kiweddemu amaanyi ate nga kikyalina amaanyi. Ate ffe FDC tulina kye tutya twali tukirabyeko eri pulezidenti waffe n'agenda n'abantu 25 ne tusigaza 9 naye bonna bava 25 twazzaawo abantu abapya. Olaba ne Kasese owa leader opposition yali w'amaanyi ennyo twazzaawo omulala nga FDC nate kinatulema tutya kati kyova olaba tutandise okukola omulimu gwaffe mpola twali tukikola mu bugenderevu n'enkuŋŋaana z'abapulezidenti bujjo tubali tuziteekamu amaanyi mangi oziraga ensi yonna kuno twagale tuzikolere
mu bizimbe ne balida bafa mu kitundu twawadde kalamojja amu temwategedde kutegera tuwadde kalamojja naye wano TV esinga obujumba mu ripoti FDC wadde kalamojja terira muntu ne kalamojja twabadde mwala yolali nga nene kataki twabaddeyo FDC mwesandi Uganda teriyo tetwawadde mbalala temwagirabye kuzuukuka nga wonawona mwamaze dde okumaamirawo atakyalina waayita kyova kati kyetukola okulaba nti tutereeza ekintu kyaffe soka tukwate be tulina tubagumye twongereko abalala tugaziwe awali avuddewo tuteekewo omupya gwenidde kinaabeera mu Amuru mbadde muwulira abamu tibagenda mu Amuru mugenda kuwulira akalulu akajja kinaabeera mu Amuru oba FDC tewangula ebifo byonna bisatu ebiri mu Amuru kakati ekyo kyo nkikomezzaawo naye mutegeere mwenna bannayuganda ekibiina kya FDC kyamaanyi kikyaliwo kirina emirandira newotemako ettabi erimu nerigwa gulyanga mutuba gweyongera kukola ki kugenda mu maaso ensonga gye njagala okwogerako eyokubiri ku bufunze yadde ya budget FDC yatunulidde budget eno ey'omwaka 2025-2026 ng'erimu obutabalika 72 obutabalika 72 wa budget eno bwe bulimu naffe nga FDC tulaba budget eno tiyakutte ku bintu ebyo biyinza okuyamba bannayuganda okuva mu bwavu mu budget eno bataddemu nti gavumenti egenda kwewola obutabalika 32 ku 72 egenda kubwewola bwewozi buno naye nga obukadde obutabalika 32 bagenda buteeka ku bintu ebyo bitavaamu bitakola sente nga bino ebyokulaba emisaala ne budget sente zemukozesa buli mwaka nga muzikozesa bw'oba oyagala okugaggawala genda yewole sente ogenda kitya kintu ekigenda okuvaamu amagoba naye mu Uganda ensi yokka eyewola sente ngaeteeka mu bintu ebitagenda kuvaamu magoba kitegeeza nti ebbanja eryo disasula kijja kusumbuwa era olina okwewola bbanja ddala kusasula ebbanja osuuka ekiseera ekituuka ate kyali akuwola kuba bonawona oba okoze eki wewozeyo ebbanja ddene ffe tulowooza nti kino si kituufu kubanga obutabalika 9 mu butundu 4 kugenda kusasula abantu abawa gavumenti abakolera gavumenti emirimu manya sorry zebewola mu banka ezaki commercial banks bagenda okusasula obuwumbi 9 manya obutabalika 9 naye kirala obutabalika 5 kugenda kusasula ebbanja gyetwewola ebweru katusuubira nti bwebaba tebasasudde bantu baffe bano ababakolera emirimu bavuwaza abaali ba businessmen abo bonna ne bagwa ate n'obanga olina kunoonya bapya mwaka gujja okutandika ate bongo bajje mu economy kuba tubasasudde sente ze bakolera Uganda yensi yokka etayagala kusasula bantu bannayuganda abagikolera emirimu naye nga bava ebweru bo babasasula kanookagawo ti abannayuganda abamu ng'ate abamu gwe wenyini gwo bavuwaza abakodde ebintu byabwe notakola ki ekirala twali tusuubira nti revenue egenda kukuŋŋaanya obutabalika 34 kibatugenda bagenda okukuŋŋaanya omwaka guno naye omwaka ogwagwa bakuŋŋaanya 29 baali balina kukuŋŋaanya 29 naye bakuŋŋaanyako 25 kikulaga nti n'omuwendo gwe tusuubira okujja mu revenue nagwo tetukola ki tetugutuukiriza bulungi fe kitutunulya budget eno tugiraba nti budget eno eyambako abo bokkabokka abali obulungi teyamba bantu ba wansi kubanga olaba trillion 12 obutundu nga 8 oba budget yonna bugenda kubanga busasula ba civil servants abakola mu gavumenti n'abakola mu gavumenti bano bali kitundu kimu ku 10 ky'abantu abali mu Uganda obuwumbi 5 bugenda mu ofisi ya maka ga president obuwumbi 3 bugenda mu ofisi ya president zona sente teziyamba muntu wa wansi naye ate ng'olaba sente zennyini gavumenti eradde yogera parish development model erimu abantu emiliyoni 14 yo bagiwadde akatabalika kamu eri bataddeyo kumpi katabalika kalamba mu ofisi 2 naye wano bagiwadde akatabalika kamu ke katundu kamu obutundu 3 ku 10 owa budget yonna atoyeza gaggawaza abantu nga wano ng'owadde akatabalika kamu naye nga wano katadde mu ofisi 2 zokka ne kaggwawo tulowooza nti ffe nga FDC kyetujja n'okuleeta mu manifesto gyetukola bakumpi tugimaliriza tugenda gijanjulira bannayuganda nga tumaze okulonda candidate baffe agenda tukikira kuba president kati kumpi emaliriziddwa okukolebwa mu FDC tujja kuteekawo ebintu bino byonna byonna Uganda eno tunagitereeza tutya mu byenfuna byonna byonna mu ebiri mu manifesto yaffe naye kati olwaliro nga bwe luli bajeti eno teyamba nnyo muntu wa wansi abagagga ejja bayamba naye abawansi tebayamba. Kakati abamemba baffe ab'omu disitulikiti ey'e Kampala ne Wakiso tujja kubawandiikira wano ku kitebe ekikulu Najjanakumbi era tutandika kati olumala okwogera nammwe ab'amawulire nga tuwandiika abagala okwesimbako mu disitulikiti y'e Wakiso ne mu Kampala kubanga yate Kampala buli division eba disitulikiti. Disitulikiti y'e Makindye, disitulikiti y'e Nakawa, disitulikiti y'e Kawempe, disitulikiti y'e Rubaga ne disitulikiti y'e Kampala Central. Olwekyo ogwo omukolo tujja gukola leero n'enkya. Era olaba abasajja bali wano bonna basajja beeteefuteefu bano bamugisha okwera mubalaba bali wano bakulu basentebe be Wakiso ba Apollo Katinti oli musajja gwe so toli wekira gwe oyo wuya bugumye dda yenna omusajja alinze empapula ze okuziteekako stamp n'abalala bonna be mulaba wano gwe mulimo kati gwe tugenda okukola kuwandiisa abaneesimbako n'olwekyo bali abagamba nti bagenda ekyo kyabo inna lillahi wa inna lillahi bakakyogera emirundi ebiri ogwasooka bakyogera mugisha muntu bwe yagenda FDC yasigalawo juzi nsigaza kuziika ne bakiddamu ate bo be bajjamu bokka n'olwekyo kati wano abantu ndina n'ekinyegenyege okutandika okukuba stamp n'okusayininga.
Ensonga twaze ku nsonga ya numbers nawenyamira n'engeri abamu olulimi lwakozesa nga batogerako tumanyi mukadde nga kano numbers yayogerangako ezisinga zalinga zakuyingiza abantu. Omuntu ali eyo amanyi FDC essaawa ya leero omukakasa otya nti enamba zino ezali zakwongerako nga zigenda bugenzi teziyina nnyo kyamaanyi kyezitegeeza eri kibiina.
FDC erina akala akagundi ke bayita amiba akawuka basajja tebakasomako oginyigiriza wano ate neemera wali kati kale mbadde nkugamba ku namba z'ogamba. Ekisooka bannayuganda bantu bakulu oli alina eddembe ogenda mu kibiina kyakola ki ate kati FDC tulina omukisa twali tufiiriddwako ennamba ennene ennyo abantu 25 ba MP netusigaza 9 ne tubaza eri gye baali 3 wano 25 abagenda ne tuzaa abapya abakadde bonna ate abagenda terina omu yakomawo wadde omu bw'ati ate n'abalala ne twongerawo gwensibambi yaliwo oluli mu palamenti eri kuno twamuleeta era tugenda kwetana abapya ku luno kakati abantu bano bandibadde batuluma singa tetwali tetulina balala basobola kubaddira mu bigere naye tulina abagenda okubaddira mu bigere bangi ate balwanira na bifo kyova omuntu agenze ng'omuntu tatuluma nnyo kubanga ekitundu kiba kisigaddewo ate nga abagi twaffe gye bali tugenda kufuula omulala tumuteekewo akole ki agende mu maaso kati era nga olaba pulezidenti waliwo abaliwo okusooka ne bagenda naye kati waliwo ate abaliwo kati ffe nga ffe tugenda kunoonya abantu abapya ekyo batuwandiika abapya badde mu bifo byonna ojja kunninda omubuuze wano mu February omwaka ogujja ddala abantu bano wabazaawo nja kubamba kulaga taata naye kati nga kyembadde mbaga engeri mwe gye mulipootingamu nagibalaze wano TVM yabaddewo oli wawandiika 23 wano n'awandiika 9 wano oli nagenda n'alipootinga ku mpewo nti guno omwenda kubanga munene nnyo oli aguwandiise nga munene gusinga 23 omuntu ayinza okyogera kino ate okuba myaka 3 ali mu top mu nasale nga ali mu middle naye omuntu yasoma basic arithmetic oli agamba kigamba arithmetic kazoza kyamaanyi nnyo nekitegeeza kubala numbers emu 2 3 abakiraba nti ki 23 ziwadde ziwandise mu bunyukuta butono zisinga omwenda guno gwempandisewo n'ennyukuta ennene naye kati bannamawulire mbasaba tube kubeeranga ate bana social media ajustifying nti guno omwenda munene okusinga 23 omugandi agati kandeete fuuti mpime omwenda guno bate gusinga 23 obuwanvu temulipootinga bwe mutyo mumulipootinge waliwo abagenze naye ate abasigaddewo balipootinge. That's balanced story, I think. We'll be happy with you. Otukulisa ati kituluma naye mwogere mazima naye of late wadde nga balina akakuku ku FDC naye ate ekirungi abaali bakabaleetera bonna Katonda atuyambye bakoze pate yaabwe mugenda bajja ajingira ddala Ngana bakola ki? Mbalaga party ya mwayimu tugambe FDC ekola bwetu mukola mutya. Mugenda kulonda abakulembeze nge FDC bwe yakola wali erugogo. Ngensi yonna eraba. Bali mwali mugambe FDC teri democratic bulungi. Nendoza mwena kati bannamuli mu Uganda muri agreed. Nsaba mu reporting. FDC yokka esobola okukola akalukayo. Ne kateka mu kisaawe. Abamuli mwenanga we muli buli omu n'ateekamu akalunga buli omu alaba ne babala obulunga buli omu alaba ne biggwa. Delegates conference buli omu agiraba mu kisaawe. Nenda mtesola kikola olaba kubaganya ebikonde bakala kuttirayo. Nefu tukikola ki? Tukirabira dabulu kikulaga ti ate fu twateekamu ne culture ne oba oluzize nga tusanyuse jene mutte mwamulaba ti yasanyuka nga aluzinze ti yagamba ko tibamubye. That's the part of FDC. Ayi twagiteeka mu musaayi gw'abantu teja jijjanyo patenda amujaziraba andosa sokwatako ku muliro ogwayita democracy nga kubookya ekukyaswa twocha naye nga tugambye tutambuza abakulembeze baffe tujja kulonda mupate president nga bukyali maya presidential candidate yesimbewo mu Uganda twakikola ekyo kigenderedde twebe kiteekamu no bungodya bungi mwayo oba bali atakwagala ng'oteeka embagayo si buli kimu nti okimulaga nti ngenda kuteekako soda na kinaki ayinza okugula Coca-Cola yonna n'agiteekamu obuto olunaku genda okulaba kubaka buli omu nga kalifa kikola mu kimpowooze naye mujja kulaba nga bivuddeyo abadde batugoberera ndowooza nga tutambula up country abayagadde otugoberera mwalabe nti wetugenda wabeerawo naaleza amaanyi naye nga tetuyogerako nnyo tis deliberate you people tubalage nti we party which can act covertly and even overtly. Ati kusaawa eno waliwo kankwe example ya muntu banji kankwe example ya muntu omu oshimanyi nti omukulu w'ebbaluwa yatwegattako dda n'agula ne kaadi abadde independent naye tetugenda nga tubiraalaasa nnyo kuba tuli used abantu twegattako mulaba FDC yasooka twegattibwako yali abe komanda temujjukira netwegattibwako yali IGG temujjukira netwegattibwako secretary general East African Community temujjukira netwegattibwako mwami Kibuuka yali professor mu America. Is there? Asomesa university. Number 2 mu party. Abo nabo nabajja. Katega yajja number 2 ndena na mwaniriza abo. Yeye mbadde ne guti shitenja akifala kwa kitikala. Oh, katega number 2 we nale mujja ko FDC wa. Ya Deus. Kati party receive ko number 2 we gwanga. Tuizo kwewana ati ayitwa receive abantu babiri basatu bogere kumpewo namwe. Ijo bamulanga nti mulwadde takola mirimu kati nange bandanga konti ndi mulwadde. Yes.